It's time for everybody's favorite segment of the week, the Best Bet Show. We can talk picks. We can talk who we think's going to win, who we think's going to lose. But at the end of the day, all that matters is where the hard-earned money is going. If you tailed the best bets from last week's show, you made some money. If you were smart enough to take advantage of the free trial to the Homo Fight Picks premium membership, you made even more money. I will let you know throughout this video where you can get every single one of my bets on UFC Vegas 104. But in this video, I'm going to give you 3 bets. I got a money line, I got a round prop bet, and I got a prop bet for you. In addition, I will give you every single one of my DFS plays, which if you're familiar with the channel, you know you always want to tail those. We're going to recap last week. We almost hit massive. Hopefully we can try and do that this week. But nonetheless, we had a lot of success last week. Let's take a look at it because, you know, always got to show the results from the previous week of the Best Bet Show. The parlay dropped down to a minus 200 straight bet because Gutierrez and Castaneda did not fight. So Santos and Francis Marshall, over 2.5, cashed at minus 200. So we pick up a half a unit there. The round prop bet was an absolute no sweat. Under 2.5 rounds, Carlos Leal got him out of there in round 1, pretty much like I expected him to do so. It was a little bit of somewhat of a hedge, just in case Morono pulled something out of his ass. But Carlos Leal was probably going to get the knockout, and I figured he did. And I figured he did that in under 2.5 rounds. So a little bit of a safety net at minus 120 on the under 2 units there. Cashed for us. And then we hit Roofie round 1 KO at plus 375. Put a half unit on that, and then, of course, we lost the round 2 KO because he got it done in round 1. But that's why we sprinkled both rounds, just in case he took his time. He did not take his time. He landed that wheel kick, and it was night-night for Bobby Green. So that was an easy round 1 KO cash for us. We cashed 3 out of the 4 bets, technically, but ultimately, this was pretty much one bet, Roofie by KO. We just like to juice the odds because I thought he was going to get it done in round 1 or 2. So overall, we're positive 3.55 units on the Best Bet Show, those 3 or 4 bets that I just gave you. So on the year, we're still down, minus 2.59. But it was a great week to get some of that back. Look at the DFS. A moment of silence because we almost hit the 100x on Betr picks. We've done it before, so it's not like something we haven't done. But we haven't hit one since November. Just keep this in mind. You only got to hit 1 per year, and you're up huge. Only got to hit 1 per year. There's 40-some cards in a year. There's only 52 weeks in a year. There's only about 40 cards in a year. You hit a 100x. You make one 100x slip every single week. You hit 1 per year. You could hit 1 every 2 years, and you'd be profitable. We hit 1 in November. We hit a 50x in July of last year as well. Nearly hit the 100x. I know 1 is coming. I know 1 is going to happen. We nearly hit the 20xer there. Ultimately, Ignacio Bahamondes was the only DFS play for us that did not hit. But that doesn't mean we didn't pick up some profit. We still picked up 3 units of profit on DFS. We hit 2 slips. This one gets voided because Curtis Blades dropped out. Kind of sucks because Bruno Ferreira got his lower than 42.5 there. And I'm pretty sure Curtis Blades wasn't getting 2 takedowns. So I would have liked for that one to play out. But either way, we still picked up 3 units of profit. Bahamondes was the lone loser of the night. But overall, great night on DFS, and I feel we're going to hit a big one very, very soon. We will talk about the plays for this week on Betr Picks and Underdog throughout this video. Stay tuned. Let's get into the bets. Moneyline bet for you. I'm going Kurt Holobo, however you want to say it. Plus 180 on the money line against the guy in Alexander Hernandez who can wilt, who doesn't always have the best fight IQ, who doesn't exactly put everything together. It seems like he's in there trying to figure out, what can I do to not gas out? Or what can I do to win this fight clean? And Kurt Holobaugh doesn't like a clean fight. He likes to make it scrappy. He's going to be in your face. I know he's 38 years old, and that's probably why we're getting plus money here. You think about Jim Miller. Jim Miller's consistently at plus money. Why? Because he's old. But that doesn't mean he's just completely done. I don't think Kurt Holobaugh is done. I think Kurt Holobaugh could come in here, put a pace on Alexander Hernandez. If Alexander Hernandez wants to wrestle, cool. I'm sure he could probably get some early takedowns, but second round starts, you're back up on your feet. And Kurt Holloway is going to be in your face, pushing the pressure. Holloway has got some nasty jiu-jitsu on the ground as well. He's submitted Austin Hubbard on the Ultimate Fighter finale, submitted Lee Hammond in the Ultimate Fighter. Those are some of his most recent fights. I know it's the Ultimate Fighter, all right? Don't come after me. But I think Kurt Holloway gets this one done. At plus 180, I'm worth it. Or I think it's worth a unit on Kurt there to get it done against Alexander Hernandez, who just consistently underperforms. I mean, he's a favorite in a lot of his fights, and I just don't know that he should be a minus 210 against a guy that is durable, has cardio, has solid boxing, solid ground game. So give me Kurt Holloway on the money line this week. I like it at plus 180. I like it at plus 150, plus 130. Any type of plus money, maybe plus 110 might be a little bit too little, but plus money on Kurt Holloway this week, I'm all about it. Let's move on to the Underdog Fantasy Plays. If you want to win slips like these, we're positive 75.57 units since the beginning of 2024 on 2-leg entries alone. So if you're in one of these highlighted states, you're going to want to download Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't yet, use my code HeyJive. You'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. There's a link down in the description, but if you're watching this on your TV, pull out your phone. If you don't have the Underdog app yet, pull out your phone, scan the barcode on the screen right here. It'll automatically apply my promo code, so you'll get that deposit bonus up to $1,000, and you can lock these plays in. The 5-legger this week on Underdog to win 20x. Josiane Nunes, higher on significant strikes. I expected her line to be around 75 to 80, and my initial projection is around 90. So at 68.5, I think this fight probably does hit the scorecards. Both girls are pretty durable. It's going to be a high-volume striking affair. And Josiane Nunes, she's going to be spamming a bunch of punches. And Priscilla Cachoeira, very poor striking defense. I think she absorbs like 6 or 7 significant strikes per minute. She's there to be hit. I think it's a 15-minute fight where Josiane easily eclipses 80+. So I like the higher there. Kurt Holloway, higher than 43.5. He's a high-volume guy. Alexander Hernandez, very hittable, especially when he's tired. Kurt Holloway throws in combinations when he's on the feet. He likes to pressure. I like that. I expected his line to be around 60. At 43.5, I like the higher there. I think the fight does extend until the second and the third, and maybe goes to a decision. So I like the Kurt Holloway there, higher. Cody Gibson, lower than 42.5. Damon Blackshear is not very easy to hit on the feet. The only guy that's really racked up significant strikes on him was Mario Batista, and that was a fight he took on 7 days' notice. I don't think Cody Gibson's a guy that's going to be throwing a ton of volume. I know he went to a very high-volume striking affair with Brad Katona, but Brad is very short, like a lot shorter than Cody, and that was a fight where there was little to no wrestling. I think this fight will contain a lot of wrestling and a lot of grappling, and Cody, not a high-volume guy, lower on Cody Gibson there. I like it. Carlos Vera, lower on significant strikes. This guy is not a striker. He is a jiu-jitsu nerd like Ryan Hall, so he's not going to want to stand and strike with Musasa. And if he does, he's probably going to have to just chip away with leg kicks. So can he get 25 leg kicks? Possibly, but I'm willing to say that he doesn't. So give me the lower on Carlos Vera. In all reality, Musasa probably knocks him out within the first couple rounds, or Carlos Vera submits him with something weird in the first round or two. So the early finish is live as well. Sam Hughes, higher on significant strikes. I think this fight goes 15 minutes. Stephanie Luciano just faced Talita Alencar her last 2 fights. Those are the only 2 fights that the UFC has stats on her for. And Talita Alencar is a jiu-jitsu girl who's about 5 foot and is not a striker with very poor striking accuracy. So her significant strikes absorbed within the UFC statistics is based on 1 fighter. And Sam Hughes is a capable striker. She's a much capable striker than Talita Alencar. So I think the fight goes 15 minutes. I don't see a ton of wrestling in this one. I don't think Luciano's really going to initiate the wrestling, and I don't really think Sam Hughes is going to have extended periods of top time. So I think it'll probably be a fight that plays out on the feet for the majority of it, where Sam Hughes should be able to land 75, 80 significant strikes in this one, if not more. So I like higher on Sam Hughes there. 5 picks, correct, wins up to 20x. I like that one a lot. Josiane Nunes and Sam Hughes, 2-pick entry right here. Put them together, wins 3x. And Cody Gibson with Daniel Barres lower than 45.5. Andre Lima is not a guy that is very easy to hit. He keeps his range pretty well. Daniel Barres, a guy that needs to be in the pocket to really be landing his shots. And I think it's going to be tough for him to do so. I could see some grappling in this one as well. And the finish is live. So I like the lower on Daniel Barres there. 2-pick entry, both correct. Wins 3x. Once again, lock these in on Underdog if you're in one of these highlighted states on the map. Use my code HeyJive. You get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. And if you're listening on a TV, whip out your phone, scan that QR code, download it, and lock them in. If you don't, or if you're looking at Underdog and the lines aren't what you're looking like, or you don't like what you're looking like, you can go on Chalkboard as well. There's a link down in the description below to sign up on Chalkboard if you're in one of these highlighted states. They offer significant strikes, decision wins, sub wins, KO/TKO wins as well. So it's just another place that you could look at and try to find the best number based on what I'm giving you. So we have Underdog, we have Chalkboard, we have Betr picks. You should be signed up to all of them. You'll get your deposit bonus. So you have extra money in there if you use my code HeyJive when you deposit, and you can line shop. So you want to take the best line available always to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. Link down in the description below for Chalkboard. You can put the Underdog Plays in there as well. Let's move on to the round prop bet. We're taking the over 2.5 rounds in the Su Young Yu and AJ Cunningham fight. Now, Su Young Yu, not a finisher. And he's a minus 700 favorite. I don't think he should be a minus 700 favorite because he's not really a finisher. He's a guy that goes to a decision a lot and not a guy that's, super high volume, not a guy that is super lethal on the ground. And I don't think AJ Cunningham is some pure finisher either. I mean, he's just kind of a tough guy in there that's going to try to win based off of toughness, based off of cardio, being bigger than you, and just try to outdog you. And I don't know that he's going to outdog Su Young Yu to find a finish. And I think AJ Cunningham could probably make this fight a little bit more competitive. So I think the fight probably does go to a decision because I don't really see Su Young Yu picking up a finish outside of some type of crazy submission. And considering that AJ Cunningham trains with Bryce Mitchell, training at Factory X Muay Thai, I think he's getting some good training in. I don't think he's going to be down on the ground looking like a fish out of water and get his neck snatched. So I don't really see a ton of finishing upside here. I think the over 2.5 at minus 110 looks good to me. I think this fight probably goes over 2.5, 60-70% of the time. So at minus 110, I think we're getting the best of it. I'm putting a unit on that, over 2.5. It's one of those where you're probably going to want to not watch because I hate watching fights when I have the over. But it's the right play in my opinion. I'll take it at minus 110, 1 unit, lock it in. I told you at the beginning of the video, if you wanted all my bets, I was going to show you how to do so, and you can do so for free this weekend. Those that took advantage of the free code last week, props to you because we cashed out. If you want to take advantage of it this week, use code 104 at checkout. Sorry, I'm burping. This Zin is getting to me. Use code 104 at checkout on the Homo Fight Picks Winnable. There's a link down in the description below. You sign up there, use code 104. It's going to drop it down to 0. And then in 7 days, you'll get charged. So if you want to cancel before the 7 days is over, go ahead. But considering we just had a great week last week, I expect us to have another good week this week. You probably want to continue your membership. This year, we're positive 15.64 units. Last year, we were positive over 100. And the year prior, positive 44.76. So, proven track record of winning. We're up 15 units, over 15 units on the year so far. Just had a great week last week. Link down in the description below. When you sign up with Winnable, when I put a play in, you get a text to your phone. You click the link. You can see the play, and you can go lock it in so you don't miss out on anything. It's very user-friendly. Link down in the description below to sign up to get all my bets on the Homo Fight Picks Winnable. Let's get into the prop bet. We're going with Chidi and Njokuani by decision. A few reasons why. Number one, I think it's going to be tough for him to finish Alizo Zaleski dos Santos, who has been very durable throughout his career. He could definitely finish Zaleski because Chidi is a dangerous guy. But I have to respect the durability on the Zaleski side. I don't know that Chidi's going to submit him. So I think it really just comes down to a knockout on Chidi's side that we're kind of fading. Now, obviously, Chidi has to win the fight. But Chidi's about a plus 180, plus 185 money line right now. And Zaleski, I don't think he's the best minute winner. I think he's a dangerous guy, and he can win a lot of moments. But if you look at a lot of his fights, he's losing majority of the time when he's on the feet, especially when he does go to a decision. It's usually very close. And I'm getting plus 525 on Chidi and Joe Kawani to win by decision, to where I think Chidi just has to avoid the grappling, because Zaleski, dangerous jiu-jitsu guy, but not really go into it all that often. So I think if this fight plays out on the feet, Chidi can win a lot of the minutes at range. And when they get into the clinch, to where Zaleski's probably looking for a takedown and they get into the clinch, that's where Chidi likes to thrive with his Muay Thai knees up the middle, his elbows off the break type of stuff. So I think Chidi can win this fight. And I think Chidi by decision is a sneaky little prop bet at plus 525. I'm putting 0.2 units on it because in all transparency, I do have a bet on Chidi. So I'm not going too hard on the decision prop, but it's just a little sprinkle out there. I like the number at plus 525, and dogs by decision in 2025 have been paying huge. Just think about last week. Ozzy Diaz, dog, got it done by decision. Amanda Lemos, dog, got it done by decision. Magomed Ankalaev, dog, got it done by decision. Francis Marshall, dog, should have got it done by decision, but did. Prop bet, Chidi and Joe Kawani by decision, plus 525, 0.2 units on that. There's your prop bet for the week. Now let's get into the better picks. If you're in one of these purple states, download Better Picks if you haven't already. Use my code HeyJive. You get a deposit bonus up to $250. There's a link down in the description below. As I said earlier, we've hit the 100x before. It's a 99x because I use my Better Bucks, but it's a 100x play, 8 legs. We got it done. And we hit the 50x here, 7 legs hit, and 1 was pushed because the fight did not happen. So we've done it before. I believe we can do it again, and we could do it this week. Let's look at the plays. The 8-legger this week. Josiane Nunes, talked about that. Carlos Vera, lower, talked about that. Sam Hughes, higher, we talked about that. Ryan Spann, lower than 23.5. Now, this one could get dicey because the fight could extend into the second and the third, but Ryan Spann has been a money printer on lowers. He has been our money printer on lower, on significant strikes, on unders. I just have to ride it and trust that Ryan Spann is still Ryan Spann. Su Young Yu, higher on significant strikes. As I gave you out in the round prop bet, I think this fight probably goes to a decision, where Su Young Yu, not a high volume guy, but I do think AJ Cunningham is very hittable on the feet. And if AJ Cunningham can stuff some takedowns, then the fight's on the feet and he's forced to strike, to where I think he can get 26 significant strikes in a 15-minute fight. So I'll take Su Young Yu's higher there. Cody Gibson lower, we already talked about that. Kurt Holobaugh higher, we talked about that. And we're going to take Kevin Vallejos. Now, when I put this in, there was only about 11 fights available to look at out of the, 12 or 13. I'm going to take Kevin Vallejos higher on significant strikes because he's a guy that throws in combination. He's a high-volume guy. And when he has you hurt, I don't really know that he has a one-punch knockout type of power. Now that I say that, it'll probably one-punch knockout Song Woo Choi. But it's more of a, have you hurt and just unleash combinations. And even in his round 1 knockout against Cam Teague on the Contender Series, he landed 45 significant strikes. And that fight only lasted about 3 rounds. Or 3 minutes. So at 35.5, I think he could get 30 in round 1, if not more. So I like the higher on Kevin Vallejos at 35.5. We threw that in there. $100 pays $10K. 100x multiplier. There's your 8-legger on Better Picks. The 2-leggers here, we got Vera and Holobaugh. 3x payout there on the 2-legger. And then the 2-legger here is Ryan Spann lower and Su Young Yu higher on Better Picks. So 3x your money with those 2-leggers. 100x your money with the 8-legger. Again, if you're in one of these purple states, download Better Picks, use code HeyJive, get your deposit bonus up to $250, and we can make some money. Lastly, you can join the free Telegram. There's a link down in the description below to do so. I post my DFS plays in there, and I'll throw some long shots in there as well. Other than that, appreciate you for watching. Like the video for me. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back here with more content as we go. Till next time, hey, Jai Picks.